I'm here on behalf of my manager, Kelly Summerow, who took very ill over the weekend, so I got one of those dreaded phone calls at the last minute, you gotta go. So here I am, and I apologize for the inconvenience or switch up, and of course my foreign accent, so for anyone who's having trouble understanding me, I am from Washington. Suzanne, I want to thank you and the entire A.I.S.E board for the opportunity to speak with you today, particularly in Kelly's absence, and the topic I'm going to cover. Oh, I need the, sorry. Sorry. Is it right or left? There we go. Go left. And then this is regarding the role of industry and brand communication to consumers. I'm going left and nothing's happening. Go right. There we go. I also want to congratulate A.I.S.E on yet another successful Information Day and for your hard work and commitment leading up to the launch of the Detergent Industry Network for CLP classification. I'm confident that the DETnet database will act as a highly effective resource for our industry to ensure successful implementation of CLP, and it'll enable industry to deliver meaningful product safety information to consumers. Before I do that, though, I'd like to just give you a quick snapshot of SC Johnson so that you might better understand our perspective on certain issues that I'm going to cover today. We're based in the U.S. We're a 127-year-old family company operating in 70 countries. We employ about 13,000 employees globally. We sell our products in virtually every country around the world. We're managed and run by the 5th generation of the Johnson family. We're committed to helping make life better for families in Europe and around the world. An important way that we work on this is by making better products. And it's quite likely, and I'm hoping that all of you have at least one of these products under your kitchen or bathroom sink. And if I show up at your house later, it's a test. We work hard towards continuous improvement of our products, all of our products, using a rigorous internal process that we developed back in 2001 called Green List. Our process is a global ingredient classification process, so we don't do this in just the United States. This is global. And it helps us increase the proportion of product formulations with lesser impact on environment and human health. This process goes beyond just meeting legal and regulatory requirements wherever we do business around the world. Let's face it, we do this because consumers expect it from us, and they expect more from us than just meeting the minimum requirements. The global PR firm Edelman conducts a yearly trust barometer survey. The latest data shows it's no longer enough for a business to just be run and managed well. It also has to undertake what most builds trust, including engaging with consumers, demonstrating integrity, and delivering product quality. So it's in our interest as an industry to be vigilant to those factors that drive consumer trust. And that means listening intently to what families in Europe want and around the globe, and what they want in our products and from the businesses with whom they interact. As a consumer products company, nothing is more important to us than knowing our consumers. As an industry, we're committed to providing information to consumers in a transparent way under the detergents regulation. As a company, we're committed to going further to provide information that helps make their lives easier and more convenient. This means the right product and ingredient information, recycling instructions, usage and safety data. We're constantly working to learn more about our consumers' needs with research, focus groups, and more so that we can help families make choices that are right for them. So where does product safety fit in? Simply stated, it's expected. Some believe that it's the job of government to regulate and that industry should comply. In some cases, that makes sense. For example, that's why the EU has adopted legislation such as REACH, CLP, the Biocidal Products Regulation, and the Detergents Regulation. Compliance for industry is often challenging and costly, but at the same time, it has its benefits in reassuring consumers about the safety of our products. But in this ongoing economic crisis that we're facing here, it's forcing layers of government to be pared back. In some cases, this is a good thing, as overregulation can place an enormous burden on industry, hurting European competitiveness without delivering any measurable added protection or benefit to consumers. And in this context, we applaud the efforts of the European Commission and the member states to ensure that regulation is imposed where it's really necessary. So does less regulation mean that industry can relax? Can we just sit back and say, hey, our products are in compliance, so what's the problem? No, not at all. In fact, it really means that industry must do more to plug gaps which previously might have been filled by the regulator. Let me share an example that involves a product line that we make, air fresheners. Consumer groups and regulators in some member states have raised questions about emissions and the potential health impacts, especially from scented candles. As you know, A.I.S.E member companies regularly conduct safety assessments. We conduct them on all of our products, including scented candles. When used in accordance with the label instructions on the pack, our products are perfectly safe and are in full regulatory compliance. With this in mind, it would be easy and even tempting for industry to simply say to consumers, you can rest assured that these products are safe and comply with all relevant EU and national legislation. Yet in this case, A.I.S.E and its members were astute enough to recognize that the truth might not be enough, that regulators and consumers needed more reassurance and information about candle emissions. So A.I.S.E, together with 2 European candle-making manufacturing associations, applied to send the European Standards Authority to develop a series of standards for emissions from scented candles. There's 3 elements. It includes a harmonized test method, guidance for setting the emission limits, and critically, a standardized way of providing information to consumers. When we're finished, it's our intention that these new SEN standards will provide Europe's 500 million plus consumers with new information and also renewed confidence in scented candles. Importantly, the SEN process involves all relevant stakeholders, consumer groups, the European Commission, national governments, national standard-setting bodies, and industry groups. They all have a say in this process. So working together, using our respective expertise and resources to deliver results for our consumers. SC Johnson and A.I.S.E are extremely grateful to the European Commission, and in particular the Directorates General for Enterprise and for Health and Consumers, for their guidance as well as their encouragement to pursue the SEN solution. And we're very appreciative for the positive approach taken by BEUC and by ANIC, which is actively representing the consumer's view in the SEN process. So we really appreciate that. If I may, I'd like to just take a minute to switch gears with you and mention the US-EU trade negotiations, more affectionately known as TTIP, which offers the possibility of a new level of increased access for products marketed both here and in the US to a total of market of 750 million people. According to the EU AmCham, the European Commission estimates that the TTIP could benefit the EU economy by 119 billion euros annually and 95 billion euros in the US. I'm pleased that chemicals are on the TTIP agenda and believe the focus should be on practical steps to reduce regulatory costs and barriers without affecting the level of consumer protection or unraveling legislation. Some of the ideas for simplification include harmonization of labeling requirements and better cooperation between US EPA and ECHA. For instance, it would be great if unnecessary duplication of tests could be ended. Also, a conformity mechanism allowing health and environmental data submitted under one regulatory regime to be acknowledged by the other would save costs for companies and public authorities and accelerate efforts to protect the consumer and the environment. Whoops. In closing, I'd like to say that we've been inspired by the success of A.I.S.E and Cefic's Clean Right portal, launched back in 2008, that helps consumers get the best results from cleaning and maintenance products. At SC Johnson, we're always looking for new ways to help consumers understand our products better and to feel confident about using them. A few years ago, we launched What's Inside A.I.S.E Johnson. We launched it in North America with the aim of giving consumers the chance to take a closer look at the ingredients in our products and to get simple, uncomplicated answers to their questions. We're exploring how we can bring something similar to families here in Europe. We know that sharing is important when it comes to building trust and loyalty, something that we've talked quite a bit about already today. A recent consumer study called Brand Share, looking at the evolving relationship between people and brands around the world, and as part of that study, consumers were presented with things that a brand could do to build and maintain a connection with them, and were asked to rank them. 90% of the people wanted brands to do more sharing things, like communicate openly and transparently about how products are sourced and made, ask people about their needs, and thirdly, listen and respond thoughtfully. I think that's a theme we've been hearing quite a bit about. These insights from this study really resonated with A.I.S.E Johnson. So, we're ramping up an initiative in Europe targeting consumer communication and education. More than just sharing our ingredients, we're exploring what a consumer education initiative might look like, aimed to provide balanced and scientific information about our products and ingredients in a way that reflects consumers' interests. In all honesty, this is a complex topic and hard to understand unless you happen to be a PhD in chemistry, which I am not. So the more we can help simplify, the more we can help consumers feel confident. And that is the goal to which I think we as an industry should make a commitment. Thank you.